Hi, hello, good evening, and good day, whatever it is, wherever you are. Where did these shades come from? What is this now?
You like them? When I was backstage, I put them on.
Backstage. I don't hate them, honestly. Good for you. Good for you. That's actually more exciting than the ending of season 2 of Netflix's The Mole. This was a poor season. I now have to kind of agree. I thought the first episode drop was a good time. The next 3 were on the fence, and the last 2 really not great. Yeah, we'll get into it. What of it there is to get into. Let's just do it so we can go to bed. I had my whole thing ready to say, and now that. I'm Kyle Petty, and I am joined by my good friend Jacob Hacker, and we are now recapping the last 2 episodes of The Mole, season 2 on Netflix. I think it's season 7 overall. Turns out you were right. This was a flopper. Do you at least feel some satisfaction in that?
Everybody's going to think I'm biased, though, because I was season 1. So
No.
I still stand by it. They had some super cool challenges. I'll give them that. They had some cool challenges. Paintball one, the rappelling one, or as they call it in Australia, abseiling. Mm-hmm. And I loved the idol one, the cave. That
was really, really cool.
Those 3 challenges were super cool. Other than that, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
The only thing about the cave one, though, is that, like, if you truly are claustrophobic, it's not just about going in there to accomplish the challenge. You still have to double back. Like we can't just, there's no exit on the other side. Can I just keep going and just, like, leave? Like,
I guarantee there was an exit. I guarantee right on the other side of those idols, the whole camera crew was there, the whole production team, and this was probably some type of tourist attraction that they rented for the day. And right on the other side's a fucking gift shop. Guarantee it. And you walk through the gift shop and out to the main street where it's nothing but vendors.
That's what they do. But there were 2 routes in that cave. You still think that?
It's just like any type of underground cavern in the United States. Guarantee it.
They have 2 entries? Like, so you're going to so-and-so, Jacob's Cave, right? You can go to entrance A or entrance B.
Like, there's only one entrance into Jacob's Cave. I don't know.
All right. Now it's
wait. Sorry. This is a family show. No, I mean, I think there's definitely entrances and exits, especially for safety precautions and for tourist attractions. I know how Netflix operates. They never put anybody in serious danger. So my guess would be it was staged that way. But just for the sake of conversation and for people's opinions, and if they want to believe the lie that is Netflix reality, they had to double back. It was scary.
It did. They had to double back. And, now that you're talking about it, I also now wonder, did they even do this at the same time? Like, was there really any evidence that suggested that both teams were running that cave challenge at the same time? Like, it could have just been edited in a way that made you believe. But I didn't pay enough attention to any twists and turns or anything. They showed us a map that kind of showed like a different route through the cavern, but that doesn't really mean anything. You could just show us anything that was clearly illustrated. You're making me more of a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, you want me to make it even worse for you? The times,
yes.
the time.
Oh, we already know the times are not real.
Yeah, the times are fake.
They have to be fake because I discussed that a long time ago because like that it can't be because everything always comes down to like the last few seconds, the last few whatever. Like no one accomplishes any challenge with like an abundance of time, right? It always comes down to the last like single digit seconds. Yeah.
Do you remember when in my season we did the mountain challenge where we roped from mountaintop to mountaintop down the side of the mountain cliff?
Yes. Didn't Casey like flip out?
She was a little scared, but she loved it. They just
Mm.
made her look like she was having a hard time, and she really wasn't.
Oh,
Joy was a little more scared than anybody. She wasn't a big fan of heights, but
as a
we,
pilot.
Joy and I, you stop it, Kyle. Joy and I were throwing a fit because we're like, hey, we need to worry about time. You guys screwed us on our time in the driving mission, the driving in the train. We had to beat the train.
Mm-hmm.
Production screwed us and made Joy and I lose money. So therefore, her and I were throwing a fit when it was time for the mountain scaling one. We're like, hey, we got to watch time. They're like, don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time. Yeah, because they were too worried about making sure everybody was clipped on properly. You have an hour. Okay. Yeah, no, it was way over that. But if you look at the clock on the show, it was down to the last second. Of course. It always is. Always is. Stupid.
Yeah, and you know what? That's true of all of them, though. And the traders does that too. It's definitely not down to the last 5 seconds each and every
Right.
time. It can't be. I mean, that happens every single time. It's pretty apparent that that's not real. It's like at least vary it. If you're gonna do it, just use it sparingly. You know,
Yeah.
but
But other than a few challenges, you're right. I wasn't impressed. It was so much of a sob story. It was so many people trying to manipulate, so much stupid drama that wasn't necessary.
yeah, this one, everyone's playing for their family, and like that's what we hear all the time on reality TV. And I think it resonated more with me as being a real irritant because we had to keep hearing it like every episode and so many times. Like these last two episodes easily could have been one.
Mhm.
This did not need to be. If you were not constantly telling me why you're playing, you had to keep hearing it in confessionals, keep hearing it, and then Ari sits everybody down. It's like, all right, so why is winning important to you? And it's like, I already know. I could tell you why it's important to you because she grew up as a refugee. She has no money. And then like somebody, oh, Michael, oh, my father has paid for everything. He took care. Why do I have this memorized? Like, it's just too much. It's too much.
Felt like I was watching American Idol or America's Got Talent. Sob story for
Right.
the judges.
Right. And it's like, all right, I mean, if that's considered a sob story, then my sob story is the same. My mother also paid everything for me because she loves me and she wanted me to stay alive. Okay. That's why she did these things. Like
Yep.
it doesn't set me apart from anybody else. Like, yeah, really, really annoying to look at, annoying to keep listening to.
There was two major disappointments to me this week that I learned.
Two.
Two.
Okay.
The first one, they got so much more time at their finale episode than we did. We filmed our finale episode, the finale itself, for like 2+ hours, and they narrowed it down to like 6 minutes. We were pissed. There was so much information that the viewers didn't get about our gameplays, our fights, who voted what, who had the most votes for the mole, who, got the most people eliminated, tricking them to be the mole. It was me, by the way, throwing that out there like I always do. And they had almost like a half hour of it. We had 6 minutes. That really pissed me off. I'm like, oh, they finally fixed it. Thanks, Netflix. If they really wanted to, they could bring out so much more. They could make so much money and get more viewers if they started to air the behind the scenes content or the content that they never aired for season 1 and season 2. People would love that. But will they go back and look at it or even touch it? No, it's locked in a vault. Just like all these players who think that they have a chance at more reality or more work for Netflix, not a single Netflix person is going to reach out to them. Been there, done that. Anyways, that's my first grief. My second one that I learned this week is, Kyle, you have not seen The Breakfast Club, and that is a disappointment. And that is for Gina. I hope she sees this, and I hope she joins us because that is un-American. Okay, that's a classic.
I have not seen The Breakfast Club. There's a lot of things I have not seen. However, I am well versed in Spice World, Clue, the movie. There's a lot I could tell you about from Justin to Kelly. Like, there's a lot of American cinema that I'm well versed in. I just don't know. This is getting stupid even for me. I can't really defend these things. They are some of my favorite movies, and I'm not going to act like they're like number one. I understand. I'm really naming some of what has been voted on as some of the worst movies in American film, but that's okay. That's all right. Because I have a good time. But Breakfast Club, I mean, like, or and Breakfast at Tiffany's, I mixed them two up because, like, who cares? Like, who is Tiffany and why is she valid? Why do I care about anything? Is she even a person, or is Tiffany's like place?
I don't know if I've never seen Breakfast at Tiffany's. No, there's a song about it.
So you're over here like chastising me over things, and you haven't seen any of these things either.
Well, wasn't Breakfast at Tiffany's? When did that come out?
I have no idea. That's how this whole thing just started. You're sassing me over what? Breakfast at Tiffany's or the Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is a 1980s cult classic. Breakfast at Tiffany's came out in 1961. Yeah, we don't worry about that one.
See, I mixed the two of them up because they both mean the same to me, which is nothing.
Wait, was Gina talking about Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Well, they both came up.
Oh, okay.
They did both come up, and that's why I still don't know the difference between the two. So Breakfast at Tiffany's is the one with Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
The Breakfast Club is multiple people.
Molly Ringwald.
All right. Enjoying detention together.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And this is important because is this something that is like
film
referenced?
Culture.
Film culture. Okay.
So add that to your list.
I mean, I'm not paying for this. Is this someplace is this something that I can stream?
Where can I watch The Breakfast?
No, it's on it is on Netflix.
Oh, good. And it's $4, $3.60 on Amazon Prime.
Absolutely not. Nope. I wouldn't pay 60 cents. I'm not paying for some old movie that I'm probably not gonna like.
I'll donate $5 to Strat Chat. You can buy the movie, and I want the other whatever dollar some cents to go to a 10-second ad.
A 10-second ad for what? To discuss the movie and promote it, or for you? Oh, for you, you don't have to pay for an ad. Like, silly. We have talked this long, and we haven't even.
I'm Jacob Hacker. I'm here to talk to you today about some very important issues. That's all the time I have. Please join us next week. There's my 10 seconds.
There you go. Thanks for coming. And by the way, Dancing with the Stars.
Yes. Vote for me.
Silly. All right.
Okay.
Well,
back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic. Not that like there's a whole lot to discuss here, right? So episode 9 opened with we now found out that Hannah did take the basket with the $20,000. She ended the mission there and added that to the pot. This was also the episode where we lost Ryan and Deanna. I thought Ryan had some potential to be the mole, so I thought that was a little surprising. But Deanna, I really liked Deanna, so I was like a little bummed that Deanna was gone. I also thought it could have been a fun twist if she ended up being the mole because she had built her entire game around being truthful and made me honest. Yes, and then all of a sudden, like, no, just kidding, I'm the mole. Like that would have been like a fun reveal, but that's not what we got.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this double elimination?
I thought Ryan was going for, or I'm sorry, I thought, wait, which one's which? I'm sorry, the two women.
Ryan had the blonder hair.
Yes. I thought Ryan, remember, was the mole, and then I thought what's her name was going, the one that took the 20,000.
Hannah.
I thought Hannah was going first in this double elimination. She ended up next episode, but
yeah,
wow. And so I was shocked. I was like, holy cow. The person I thought was the mole's gone.
So what did you think at that point? Now, once the game realigned and we lost Ryan and Deanna, did you already have an immediate second thought of who the mole could be? Or was it just...
I thought, shit, Kyle might be right. Damn it.
I wasn't.
It wasn't. I really didn't at that point. I was like, could be really any of them. Then I start psyching myself out because my knowledge of how they edit and then actually watching it as a viewer. So I was so confused and so in a tizzy that I had no idea.
Yeah, I was still pretty dead set on either Michael or Muna still at this point. Those are still the two I was looking at. And ironically, both were then wrong. But this now they had to break in to this city hall, to this art exhibition that had two authentic artifacts, among a bunch of forgeries, and they were surrounded by a security system with the lasers and everything. They had to identify and collect the two authentic artifacts, with each correct artifact adding $30,000 to the team pot. So they had to figure out which one of the artifacts were correct. They were marked with a stamp matching a symbol that was on a painting, also in the same room. They had to select one person to be suspended by this pulley system, and the rest of the people would be operating the ropes to move them around. I thought Michael asserting himself in this and ended up being selected was a little bit surprising to me. I expected Hannah or Muna to be selected for this. Not that I think that Michael is like heavy, but I mean, he's certainly larger.
He's the biggest one, though.
Right. Yeah. He's certainly larger than a Hannah or Muna. Just feels like it would have been an easier ride to have either one of them. What did you think of Michael in this? Because we definitely knocked over a couple of artifacts. Do you think that was all intentional? Do you think that was to pulley people?
I didn't watch it. I fast forward through it.
That's fine. You didn't miss much. Artifacts fell. It wasn't a huge deal. We did find one of them that did have the stamp on it. So they did add, there was $30,000 to go into the pot, but they knocked over 3 artifacts, which ended the game. So that reduced the winnings by 6,000. So they only added $24,000 to the pot. Some of Michael's movements here looked like they were a little clumsy, but again, hard to really tell because people are pulling the pulley system every which way. Like you really don't know. It's hard to say. Like you don't know how much he was being jostled about. You mentioned his size from before. Maybe somebody yanked harder than they needed to on a rope, and that kind of moved him a little further than anyone intended. Like you don't know your own strength. You don't know what was necessary. I don't know. Kind of. I'm trying to make it sound like this was exciting. It really wasn't. This was kind of a snooze.
Did you watch the finale?
I did.
I
watched the finale. Yeah.
Because Sean did say he manipulated that one. He pulled when he wasn't supposed to make him, and I'm like, oh, okay. There's your break.
Yeah, you just didn't know that then because there was a moment where Sean yelled at Hannah and Muna so Muna had done something that Hannah felt was mole-ish and was like, why did you do that? And Hannah was like, well, I don't want Sean to know that I felt that this was a mole-ish behavior. So like, I don't want to say anything. I'm just going to yell back at Sean. And Sean was very, very frustrated with them because he thought they were like just bungling the whole thing up. So that was like a fun little exchange, but turned out not to mean anything because we found out, Sean like was the mole, but that was like fun to look at. This one ended with another quiz and Hannah was out.
Good. I don't want her to win.
Damn. I didn't mind her towards the end. I didn't like how she sat in the little cafe and let the clock run down, let the whole pot run out. That kind of irritated me. But otherwise, like after that, she didn't really like bother me that much. She was just a little aggressive at times, but like you're playing a game. Like nobody won Uno by not being aggressive.
Very true.
Sorry, draw 2. So that was that. Episode 10 opened with the last mission. The group had 30 minutes to cross 3 different grid zones lined with landmines. They had to make sure they didn't step on any of them. First grid, the smallest one being worth 10,000. Second one, mid-sized, 15,000. The third one being the longest at 25. Muna felt pretty good about her memory, so she volunteered to be the person to handle the third one. She was the only one who got it right, though. I mean, even though the other 2 definitely like bungled it on purpose, but like at least she was genuinely trying to add money to the pot here. Sean did the first one and very much knew exactly where to step. And this I thought looked really, really sus. Even though it turned out that you were the mole, I still feel like you should have just let this one ride out. Now, Are you allowed to do that? Like if you are the mole, can you make a decision that does add money to the pot? Like what are the rules that the mole is like, or what are the parameters rather that they have to like
I think
within?
their main mission is to stay under the radar. Well, I guess the main mission is to keep money from the pot, but to stay under the radar. Like, oh, that's right. They didn't air that on my episode. Cassie and I they didn't air a whole bunch of our challenges, our missions. And one of them was right after the painting mission. We broke up into groups of 2 and did another mission. Cassie and I were paired together. I left her alone for a chance at an exemption. And that was the 2 truths and a lie, where they made me look like a terrible liar and I'm an idiot, when that really wasn't how it happened. But they can make me look any way they want. And she actually did win the mission and put money into the pot for the group. And so the mole, I'm pretty sure, can put money in.
Okay.
That way they don't get caught.
Right, because I feel like at this point, I actually would have thought that, like, because now that you are the mole, and I mean, you're the mole, and there's only 3 of you left, I might have opted to add money to the pot at this point and maybe try to deflect at the end and convince Muna that she wasn't stepping in the right way. So, yeah, I added 15 or 10 or whatever it was, and I blocked you from adding the 25. Like, but instead it was just so obvious, because like, who couldn't? I'm watching it. I'm sitting on my couch, like, like half drunk, and I remembered where you were supposed to step. So like, you definitely would have if you really wanted to. So honestly, not good mold.
Again, though, another correlation to season 1, like Cassie, that ice mission where she was just pushing the ice off the sled. I am sorry, but everything lined up with season 1. It was almost the identical same game, just different people. Same missions, same situations, same everything.
That's interesting, because maybe that had a lot to do with why this season, everyone I spoke to, like, we really didn't vibe with this one in the same way. And I even think it goes down to the cast itself. Like, Strat Chat is a small podcast, right? But like, we put our own money into this. We put our own time into this. We're only talking to the people we actually want to speak to. So like, when we reached out to you, it's because we wanted to talk to you. When we reached out to Joy, because we wanted to speak to her. No one else was really resonating with us in that way. Like, I don't know. Seemed like cool people, may not vibe with them in the same way. There is nobody on this season that I really have like any interest in speaking to. Like, unfortunately, like, I could find it interesting to have a conversation with Michael now, knowing, because I saw a lot of his sabotage along the way, and now that you won, I think that's interesting. But other than that, like, personality-wise, like, I didn't find myself rooting for or actively rooting against anyone, because I think that's important in a reality TV show too. Like, if I can't root for someone, I want to just make sure somebody goes down.
Right.
And I didn't get that either. So I was like, I just don't care, like, one way or the other. And like, that's not great. It's really, really not great.
No, yeah. I've had a lot of DMs concerning like the cast of this season. A lot of people, struggle to even connect with them.
Yeah, I thought that was a big miss. And I don't know that Ari was super effective in making me feel engaged either. There was something, and it's so nuanced, because I wouldn't say that Alex was the most extroverted host, but there was something about how she did it, though, that made you genuinely believe she was interested. Like, when she would ask certain questions, there's just a way that she would lean in. There was a little bit of a different energy that was like, oh, I'm actually interested in this answer. I'm not just asking because they told me to ask it. Like, I want to know too. Like, I feel like she was kind of just digging the whole thing. And like, I don't get that.
Was wonderful with like showing her emotion. She could show interest. She could, even be funny at times when she needed to be. She could be concerned. She could be like pissed off with us. It was really cool how she could project her feelings for the sake of the show, obviously, but still, it was very believable, and it was very interested, just like the rest of us. Ari has one mentality and one feeling, and it's not right for the mole, but it's perfect for, like, I don't know, next American Great Bake Off. I don't know, he'd be good on a cake baking show or something.
Would he? Like, I don't know.
He's not serious enough, or
I just didn't think he was super excited. Like, I just don't think he cared, like, one way or the other. Like, it was like, I'm just walking out and saying this. I feel like I need to be dramatic in this moment because this would be a dramatic moment for you as a player, but not because I see any drama in it. And that was like, it's kind of a minus to me. I even remember, I don't remember at what point it was, but I feel like Alex had joined you all for a dinner. And she seemed to be so excited to be part of the meal. Like, and even just in that, it's like you just being excited to be part of it outside of just being the host was endearing. I don't know, there was just a different kind of, there's just a whole different vibe and different kind of warmth with your season. And I think this one missed it.
It's hilarious to me. Every single mission you can line up with our missions. You can compare it to one of our missions. They were almost.
So I don't remember the specifics like that. You know, it was a long time ago for me.
It's hilarious to watch. I'm like, oh, so that happened. That was our mission. Oh, they drained the pot. Shocker. Oh, this mission. Yeah, just like ours. You know, everything was identical.
Yeah. I mean, the pot draining, I feel like you won't necessarily get away from in any season of them all. Like, I feel like that's always going to be part of it. But like, yeah, just wasn't exciting. So where does that leave us? I mean, the final three, Muna, Sean, and Michael. Sean was revealed to be the mole. I will say that did surprise me. I did not see that one coming. No. He was definitely the lowest like on my list here. I definitely saw Michael or Muna first. Because Muna I had kind of pegged in the beginning. Michael was kind of it going forward, but now it's like when you look over his game, it's like, okay, you did all the things to intentionally sabotage and you led me down the path and I walked right down it. Like, so like, good for you. Good for you. I would say that not bad.
Did they say who Muna voted for?
Muna also voted for Sean.
Okay, so they both had it figured out, but
yes, they both said Sean, but Michael had more questions on the quiz answered correctly than Muna.
Okay.
Which was a fun end to that. Like, that was like nice to see, but I also don't like that I don't know that was really so. Like, I want to see the quiz results. Like, I like receipts. So you could have just liked Michael more. Who knows? Like, I'd like to believe that's not so, but like, I don't know. I say that about every reality show we watch. Like, if you're saying that, you know, we're watching the challenge and you have two people competing, let me see the clock. I want to see both. I want to see exactly how this one went down. You don't show receipts. It makes me just a lot of question marks around it.
I wish the cast would be allowed to see the results because I don't think my elimination, I was the one that actually should have been eliminated. But
it's completely possible with each one of these quiz results. You don't really know. Because I could very much see if you had two people that were in the bottom or three that kind of answered similarly, and you're like, you know what? As production, we have an opportunity here to eliminate somebody that we just don't care as much about. We think this other person is better TV or whatever it is. We'll keep them in. Like, absolutely no proof whatsoever.
Nope. And I was very hurt on that thought because I was like, I don't think this is true. I don't think this is real. I don't think this is right. I know exactly what they did, but what are you going to do?
Nothing you can do. Just be grateful for the opportunity.
And as far as we made it. But I will. The one thing I want to give props to Netflix for this season.
Wow. Let's hear it.
I am surprised and very impressed at how they did complete opposite. This is probably the only thing they did complete opposite from season one, is that they showed the interest in Sean. When Michael was onto him, when all the people watched his video and said he's an undercover cop, oh my God, you know, it's a lie. He could be the mole. He could be the mole. And Michael, since then, was probably picking him as the mole. And then even Sean, he's like, Michael's suspecting me. I'm going to sabotage this mission, taking photos when they were in the gala and hiding stuff, talking about how he was trying to fool Michael, how he was sabotaging, how he didn't want, you know, anybody to. And I'm like, they showed that from that episode all the way into the end of him being suspicious, how Michael was suspicious of him. And I was like, they completely did an amazing job at that, fooling the viewers and just giving them the info. I was like, ooh, they didn't do that with, you know, Kasi. They haven't done that in the past.
Right.
Like, wow.
Right.
Impressive. Good job.
Okay. Wow. So a good mark for Netflix for once. For once. Because you have been a pretty vocal
I'd be a great supporter if anybody would return my
no.
emails or let me do something else.
Oof. I never know how to pivot out of those moments. Like just justice for Jacob. Okay. Like that's it. Justice, please.
Peacock, I'm available for the traders.
Yes,
Contracts
please.
up.
Let's go. Yeah, I would love to see you on the traders. And honestly, like we were talking like, pre-stream.
MTV, the challenge.
Yeah, I want to see you on the challenge really, really bad. I think that you would I think you'd like dominate. I think you're likable enough that people wouldn't want to see you go. I think you'd actually be in these challenges and actually have a chance of winning. Like the challenge feels super, super lopsided right now, especially because there's now so many different versions of it. Like, you have the MTV like main stage version, of course. But then like, you got the Challenge All Stars, it has like the OGs in it. Obviously not a place for you. You're not an OG. But like the Challenge USA is interesting because it's kind of like melding a bunch of different people from different reality TV shows. Even though they kind of try to stay in the Viacom network, it seems. Usually we're getting people from like, Big Brother, Survivor, Regular Challenge, Amazing Race, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why we couldn't start getting people in from other things.
Well, people would love to see that too. Holy cow, we haven't seen anybody from Netflix, yet.
No, I don't see people from Netflix showing up really on anything else. And I wonder like why that is. But even once the contract's over, like so what? There are people who show up on some of these shows, like they haven't been on things in a long time. It's not like, oh, your Netflix contract is so long that now all of a sudden you're not relevant. There's so many people that are like not relevant in that regard. Like, oh, I haven't been on TV in 2 years. All right, so what? Like, I don't think that should matter.
Yep.
But the Challenge USA has gotten so lopsided in the sense that like you've got people who are playing this game that came from shows that aren't as physical, so that they're leaning into the social end of it. And sometimes they get decimated, sometimes they kind of step up. I think you'd be the best of both worlds.
It's so sweet. Thanks.
I'm just being honest. Like, no, really. Like our other friend that like we love to collaborate with, like Louis Cologne, he was on The Amazing Race. If his numbers weren't so poor, they set them up to fail that one season, because people kind of stick to what they know. So the Big Brother people played with the Big Brother people, Survivor people, and so on and so forth. The Love Island people, they also kind of stuck to their own. Everyone else had 4 or more that were coming from their franchise, and the Amazing Racers only had 2. So it's like you walked into that situation without numbers. So like you were always going to be behind the 8 ball. It's like kind of unfair, but like it doesn't really matter how likable you are. Like that kind of falls by the wayside because like, oh well, I kind of feel like I have some loyalty to this person. I kind of got to stick to this one. It's like so you didn't really have a shot there. But if you could have, even if you're only going to do 2 from The Amazing Race and 2 from The Mole and maybe 2 from Perfect Match or something like that, at least the Netflix people can stick with the Netflix people and just let it be what it's going to be then.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't all have to be from the same show, but let them kind of come from the same world. That would be the only thing. Because otherwise, if you don't win, you have no power, and then you'll be the first one to go out for elimination. And if you're just going against one other person, I mean, anything can happen. Doesn't matter how strong you are physically. You can always just lose once, and then it's over.
So I'm going to try to be a reality star on every reality show. Try to get that record under my belt.
I'm here for it.
You know what I will say? The only thing you and I were correct on with the Mole was the pot. We said it's probably going to be somewhere around 150.
There it is. Yeah, what was the final pot? Was it 159? 154. 154. The thing about this now, though, if you add up everything, the possible earnings was 610,000. Now we all know that they also know it was never going to get to that. Like when they did this, they knew that people would zero it out. Like they knew those things would happen. So like they were never really in danger of having to pay out that much. But,
right?
Yeah. But yeah, 154 from a possible 610, which is pretty sad.
It's crazy.
But congratulations, Michael, for winning. Now, if no one got Sean, does the Mole take the money?
I didn't think that was. I don't think that's possible.
So the mole can't actually win. You walked in, production chose you to be the mole, and it's an automatic L. You already know you're walking out with no money.
Yeah,
That sucks.
they already get paid. We don't even know. Like, I don't even. We'll have to see if Sean releases what he got paid to do the mole, because Netflix didn't even release what Cassie got, and she didn't tell anybody except for her buddy Will, who surprisingly won. But yeah, nobody knows what the mole makes, but they definitely make a lot more than what the cast makes to be a part of the show. They get compensated because they can't win the pot.
Right. Okay. That's disappointing too. I thought that the whole point of being the mole then would be that if you were able to get enough people off your scent and no one voted for you in the end, then you would win the pot. So you really have no vested interest in this whatsoever. I guess it's also fair then, because if you're working to remove money from it, you shouldn't be held to it, I guess. I just think that that's lame. So the mole wins, and the team pot literally just never meant anything. That's stupid.
I don't think anybody would ever not get the mole. That would be bad TV. Someone would get a whisper, "The mole is so and so," but
make sure you write it down.
Yeah.
Stupid. But that's that. There was one little thing on Wikipedia here that kind of highlighted some of Sean's moves as the mole. And reading these, some of them I was able to kind of predict. So I was like, okay, we kind of discussed that. But some of them were a little interesting. Like that intruder one in the very beginning. Sean missed all the intruders. Duh. The buried treasure one. This one, I almost would... Well, if I cared more, I would go back to go see. But I will say I didn't notice this. Apparently, when they were assembling the raft, Sean made sure to cut the ropes into lengths which were too short to properly tie knots. And he also punctured holes in the raft during the mission to make it sink. That's kind of interesting. Definitely did not get to see that.
No, we didn't.
Those are some of the things they should be discussing at some kind of reunion thing or something. Like, I want to know with each mission, like, what your thing was then. I shouldn't have to like look for it after the fact. Like, stupid.
During the finale, he did tell about each mission and what he did to sabotage it. I heard him say...
I guess I just had already clocked out of it, and I guess then.
Probably. You were done. I fast forwarded to it because I was like, oh, let's see how their finale episode, got all the limelight. And he did talk about the ropes. I don't remember him talking about puncturing the holes, though. Maybe he did talk about it, and I was clocked out. But he did talk about the ropes.
Who could blame us? I think everybody's clocked out at this point. Like, the tower heist, we kind of already knew that he was kind of faking his fear of heights because, he did rappel rather rapidly at one point. Also read out numbers on items that weren't relevant in finding the code for the safe.
That was cool.
He hid batteries, that would have been for that black light. Hid it in his boot, and he pressed incorrect buttons on the safe before the rest of his group attempted to enter the code. Now that I did not notice at all.
I didn't either. They didn't show that.
No. I don't know how they got that past us too, because they definitely were counting the number of attempts that went in. Did he just press a button to start the sequence so they didn't know they were hitting wrong things? Like, I would love to know more about that. Is there anything else that's interesting? We already know in the gala he was switching photos around. He did that on purpose in front of Michael. He said he was the one who pushed for the doubler box to go into Muna's truck during that money shipping mission, which was the incorrect one. I guess maybe production might have told him that would be the incorrect one. Like, otherwise, how would you know? You could push for anything. It doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. Money bomb mission suggested for the group to open the clue, and then they didn't. Failed. Like, that didn't really sound great. During the museum heist, they're saying that he pulled the rope that resulted in an artifact being knocked over. Whatever. That's really the final thing.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else noteworthy here.
When they were running through town, I'm old. I can't run.
I'm old. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Slow down. You know,
He was trying.
I think that was actually genuine because made no mention of that being strategy.
True.
So sorry to that man. But that's it. That's the Mole season 2. Do we think we get a season 3?
Netflix owns the franchise. Oh yeah, we'll get it.
I was going to say after this ending, like I love the first one, but this one made me think, do I care? I'm going to need to see something different. And I definitely would want a new host. I'm so sorry, Ari. I wish you the best in everything else, but this wasn't it.
That might be what they plan to do as well, is continuously switch hosts each season, you know, have a different host each season. I mean, that would be cool.
That would be cool. If you're not going to bring Alex back, then fine. Just let them then rotate. That's it.
I don't know, how high did they make it on the Netflix top 10? Was it, I think they got to 7 or 6.
Is that it? Oh,
yeah. Ours was 4, I think, or 4 or 3.
See, that's not something I don't ever watch. I don't even look for things like that. Couldn't tell you.
I do.
Yeah. Well, you were on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I wanted the clout, but you know.
No, I would do the same thing. If I was on it, I would definitely be comparing.
Yeah, you want it to be a huge success. So, yeah, they'll definitely change it up and revamp it because they didn't get the love that they got from season 1. But
I don't think they did. There were other pod friends who said, "Oh, this really could have been wrapped up in an email. I didn't need to watch these last 2." I was like, "Oh, I was like an email." I was like, at least I could say like the last episode could have just been one. An email summary. Damn. But, although, to be fair, had I not had this podcast, I don't think I would have watched.
If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have watched.
No, I would have gone to tadum.com and just got the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's the hope in season 3. They change it up, and it's the best one we've ever seen. And then season 4 is just as good. And season 5, they do a fan favorites. And I get to go back.
Absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully they listen to us. They know they watch the podcast or listen, pay attention, take some notes, and like make some tweaks. Reach out to us if you need some help. We'll help. We're
3 people from each season, 3, 6, 9, 12. You get
that's perfect.
Yep.
The Mole All-Stars.
Yeah, there we go. They got to let the people vote, though, because if they just go off of their idea, they go for the people with the most fans and the most followers on their social medias. So that might be me from season 1. I don't know. Either way, like I don't
follow anyone else. I only follow you and Joy. So
yeah, because we're the best.
Siri couldn't tell you what anybody else is doing. But thanks for hanging out this whole time. I only thought you'd do the first stream. I roped you into the whole season. So yeah, thanks for being a good sport.
I mean, someone had to be here and with you.
You're not wrong. Everyone else ditched. John had he's out here. He's in Ireland celebrating his parents' 50th anniversary. So I would say that definitely trumps the Mole.
Yeah. And both of their excuses this time, I guess, are okay.
Yeah. Gina had some transformer on her train that blew out. Last week, she was visiting her niece. Like, everybody did have some things important going on. I'm just the only loser who had nothing going on. At least you're at work. You're busy.
I'm at work.
I had nothing going on. What do I have to do to get you to watch Big Brother?
Where can I watch it? Is it streamed somewhere?
It's on CBS. So you can watch it on Paramount.
Paramount.
You got Paramount Plus?
I think so.
Yeah, man. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sundays, 9 p.m.
Good heavens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll check it out. I'm not making any promises, but
just give it a go. Give it a gander. See what you think. It's only live once a week, unless something like groundbreaking is going on. We are known for our emergency lives. Like, oh yeah, if there's something like really, really important going down, some real
someone
drama.
hooked up in the house or someone got in a fist fight.
Yeah, we'll pop up. We'll pop up. But usually it's really just like 15 minutes after each live eviction, like we're live.
Okay.
And just come hang.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's a good time. But that's it. You know what, folks? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you again to you for carrying the torch for Strat Chat, filling in so much for John and Gina, dropping the ball with us. And we're out of here. So what do I have coming up? This is premiere week. So Wednesday, we're at the premiere party with Azza from Big Brother 23. We're meeting everybody, watching the show there, viewing party. But we will be live on Thursday, even at the second night of the 2-night premiere. We're not going to the second night. It's a disco-themed party, and we didn't want to dress up disco-themed. So we're coming home. But we'll be live after that episode. And then Claim to Fame. Do you care about that at all? Claim to Fame is fun.
Never seen it. Is that the one we talked about last week with the Jonas Brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one episode in, so like it's easy to catch up.
And your favorite Jonas Brothers, Nick, we know. I'm kidding.
Not.
I'm kidding.
Absolutely. My heart almost stopped. Like my breathing was immediately belabored. Like absolutely not. Franklin for the win. Get out of here.
I bet Franklin's watched The Breakfast Club. I'm just saying.
Actually, I hope he hasn't. Standing in solidarity with me, his biggest fan.
If any of your viewers are out in California, I will be at CatCon for the Australian Firefighters calendar if they would like to come out to Pasadena and say hello.
Is that so?
That is the 3rd and 4th of August.
Wow, so coming up. Okay, nice. Yeah. I still need a calendar. I need to just order one.
They're sold out for 2024. But in October-ish, late October, they go on sale for 2025. And I'm in 2 of those ones. So
is that so? So you're going to be in it again?
Yep.
Did you already go down and shoot it, or you have to still go?
No, I went. Oh, please. I'm like 30 pounds heavier right now. I went in March/April this past year.
Nice.
To Australia. We filmed and shot for 2025.
Wow, so that's your 3rd calendar now, isn't it?
No, 2nd. Yep. I hope I get invited back for a 3rd.
2nd?
Yes.
Wow. Feels like you've been doing that for a while now.
Yeah, 2 years. You think 3 because I was there for the mole. So I've been to Australia 3 times.
Maybe. Too much of a Jacob fan, following your travels too much. I don't know why you're traveling. I just know you are traveling.
Yeah. He's somewhere, guys.
Yes.
Doing something.
Out and about. Good. No, I definitely want to. So October, it's going on sale. I have a calendar here on the side here. I like to look at my little dates here. All right, good. I have to make sure I get that next time.
Yes.
All right.
We'll let you know.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But all right, we're out of here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And for you, thanks for hanging.
Always.